Hey veterans, Travis Studdard, Veterans Disability Attorney here. I wanted to follow up on a video I recently did regarding TDIU benefits after quitting your job. And the thought that came to me was regarding when you are quitting a position. Many veterans don't always come totally clean on the reason for that with their employer. You know, many times when someone is leaving a position, they say, I'm leaving for a better opportunity, I want to try something new. Sometimes they say, I'm retiring. And those are all things I've seen with veterans who simply were no longer able to do it. They had to hang it up. They couldn't keep continuing on in their work because of their service-connected disabilities. But they didn't have that conversation with their employer. Again, they gave one of these generic reasons. And I think many times that's because they just don't have a very close relationship with that employer or that supervisor. They don't feel like it's anybody else's business. Sometimes, you know, there's a lot of disabilities that are that we don't want others to know about. Sometimes veterans are embarrassed. Sometimes they've been able to hide their depression, their PTSD, or other disability, and they don't want anyone that they work with to know about that. But then after they stop work, they turn around and file for unemployability benefits. Well, VA is going to be contacting that employer, and one of the questions they're going to ask is the reason that the employment ended. And if you've given them no real basis that's related to your service-connected disabilities, they're not going to be able to share that with VA. And that may be a detriment to you in trying to prove TDIU. So again, this is not the situation when someone is fired. You know, that employer is saying, well, they had outbursts of anger, they couldn't follow rules, they were less productive, and those can all be tied potentially to a service-connected disability. But if you're leading that employer down a different path and not giving them the true, honest reason for that, then, you know, just realize that may come back later in your VA disability claim. So if at all possible, I would urge you to you know, be as open and honest as you can about that with your employer and the reasons why you're no longer able to do that. Give them specifics. It may be specifics as to why you're no longer able to continue in the fashion that you've done it in the past. There may be situations where an employer values you so much and has some flexibility, they may be able to accommodate you. They may be able to modify your position with the company so that you're able to continue working. And obviously there's huge benefits there to you from a financial standpoint if you can continue on with your employment and still receive some form of VA disability benefits, even if it's not TDIU. So again, that may be a way to do it where you don't even have to quit at all, but they're not going to be able to even have a conversation with you or later relay any information to VA as far as why your service-connected disabilities were an obstacle for you. So keep that in mind. Again, these videos are in no way suggesting to you that you quit your job and file for TDIU. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. This is a very difficult and complicated type of VA disability claim. I'm simply giving you the information that I give to other veterans when they ask me, which is, in the other video, can I quit my job and still be eligible, or am I somehow barred from TDIU? And then I want you to avoid, if you do get in that situation of needing to stop, avoid making the same mistake that some other veterans have, whereas they say, oh, I'm just going to retire, I no longer want to work, or whatever, and they don't relate it in any form or fashion to their service-connected disability. So keep that in mind. If you have questions, whenyourvetclaim.com is our website. We have lots of articles, lots of other videos on TDIU and other types of disability issues. So check that out. Thank you for your time today.